Have you ever scrolled through your feed and seen a headline that made your jaw drop? Something like, Stephen Curry loses everything, NBA calls him bankrupt. Yeah, me too. And let's be honest, for a split second, you probably thought, wait, what? How is that even possible? It sounds absolutely insane, right? The greatest shooter of all time, a four-time NBA champion, a global icon, bankrupt. It just doesn't add up. Well, today we're diving deep into this crazy rumor. We're going to unpack where this story came from, why it spread like wildfire, and most importantly, what the actual truth is. Because in the world of online news and social media, things aren't always what they seem. Is there a grain of truth to this? Or is it just another classic case of internet clickbait designed to shock you? Stick with me, because we're about to separate fact from fiction and get to the bottom of what is really going on with Steph Curry's finances. Trust me, the real story is just as interesting. So, where did this bombshell of a story even begin? Like many of these wild celebrity tales, it started in the darker corners of the internet. We're talking about unverified blogs, anonymous social media accounts, and YouTube channels known for spreading sensational, often completely fabricated news. They post these shocking headlines, often with a photoshopped image of a worried-looking Steph, to grab your attention and get you to click. The formula is simple. Make an outrageous claim about a beloved public figure, and watch the views and shares roll in. These sources often string together a few out-of-context facts to make their story seem plausible. They might mention a business investment that didn't pan out, or maybe they'll bring up the high taxes athletes pay. They'll twist a normal financial transaction into a sign of impending doom. For instance, if Curry sells a property, they won't report it as a smart real estate move. They'll frame it as, Curry forced to sell mansion to cover debts. It's all about creating a narrative of crisis, even when one doesn't exist. There's never a link to a credible source like ESPN, Forbes, or any mainstream financial news outlet. Why? Because those outlets have standards and fact-checkers, and this story wouldn't pass even the most basic scrutiny. Now let's get to the real numbers, the facts that blow this whole bankrupt narrative out of the water. Stephen Curry is not just financially stable, he's one of the wealthiest athletes on the planet. Let's start with his NBA salary. For the 2023-2024 season, his salary is over $50 million, and he's got a contract extension that will see him earn over $200 million in the next few years. That's just from playing basketball. But here's where it gets even crazier. His earnings off the court are even more massive. His lifetime deal with Under Armour, the company that produces his signature Curry brand shoes, is reportedly worth upwards of $1 billion. Yes, you heard that right, $1 billion. This puts him in the same stratosphere as Michael Jordan with Nike and LeBron James with Nike. It's a landmark deal that ensures his financial legacy for generations to come. On top of that, he has a whole portfolio of other endorsements with major companies like Rakuten, Chase, and Infinity. And he's not just endorsing products, he's a savvy businessman and investor. He co-founded a media company called Unanimous Media, which has a production deal with major studios. He's also invested in numerous tech startups and other ventures through his investment firm, SC30 Inc. We're talking about a highly sophisticated financial operation managed by a team of top-tier advisors. The idea that this man is losing everything is not just false, it's laughable. He's a financial powerhouse, and his wealth is only growing. So why would anyone believe a story like this? The psychology behind it is actually pretty fascinating. First, there's a phenomenon called Schadenfreude, which is the German word for finding a little bit of pleasure in the misfortune of others. It's not a great human trait, but it's a real one. Seeing someone who seems to have it all, fame, fortune, a perfect family, stumble a bit can, for some people, make them feel a little better about their own lives. It humanizes the celebrity and brings them down to a more relatable level. Then there's the simple power of a good story. A dramatic rise and fall narrative is one of the oldest and most compelling story arcs in human history. We love it in movies, books, and yes, even in our news feeds. The story of a hero who loses it all is just inherently dramatic and captures our attention. These clickbait creators know this. They're not journalists, they're storytellers, and they're selling you a piece of fiction disguised as news because it's more exciting than the truth. The truth, in this case, is that a very successful and smart person continues to be very successful. That's not a very exciting headline, is it? Finally, in our fast-paced digital world, we often don't have time to verify everything we see. We're scrolling quickly, and a shocking headline paired with a convincing image can be enough to plant a seed of doubt. If we see it shared by a few people, we might start to think there's something to it, without ever clicking to see the source. And that's exactly how misinformation spreads. Let's also take a moment to look at the man himself. Everything we know about Stephen Curry's character runs completely counter to the image of someone who would be reckless with their money. He's known for his strong work ethic, his discipline, and his deep commitment to his family and his faith. He's a leader on and off the court. People who achieve that level of sustained excellence in their craft are rarely careless in other important areas of their life, especially their finances. Think about it. This is a guy who revolutionized the game of basketball through thousands upon thousands of hours of practice. That same dedication is evident in his business ventures. He's surrounded himself with a team of experts, financial advisors, lawyers, agents, to manage his empire. This isn't an athlete from the 70s who might not have had access to good financial advice. This is a modern-day mogul who has built a brand and a business designed for long-term generational wealth. He's not just thinking about his next paycheck, he's thinking about his children's children. The rumor isn't just a lie about his finances, it's a complete misreading of his character. So let's put this rumor to bed once and for all. Is Stephen Curry bankrupt? Absolutely, unequivocally not. It's a complete fabrication, a piece of clickbait designed to prey on our curiosity and our worst instincts. The reality is that he is one of the most financially successful and secure athletes of all time, with a business empire that extends far beyond the basketball court. His billion-dollar Under Armour deal alone secures his financial future forever. This whole episode is a perfect lesson in media literacy. In an age where anyone can be a publisher, we have to be more critical than ever about the information we consume. Always check the source. Is it a reputable news organization or a random blog? Look for evidence. Are they citing actual data and credible reports or just making vague, inflammatory claims? And use your common sense. Does the story even seem plausible? A story about one of the world's highest-paid athletes suddenly going bankrupt should set off all your alarm bells. The truth is, Stephen Curry is doing just fine. He's at the top of his game, his businesses are thriving, and his legacy as both a player and a businessman is secure. The only thing that's bankrupt is the credibility of the sources pushing this fake news. Thanks so much for hanging out and getting to the bottom of this with me. It's so important to question what we see online. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives that separate fact from fiction, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.